Sup tubers, User Stewart here, User Junior. We actually are farming. Gonna show you some tomato pruning tips. If you watch this video, it's like 30 seconds long. It's the only video you'll ever need. This video deals primarily with indeterminate tomatoes. I don't really mess around with the determinate varieties. Took a little hiatus after I gave birth to User Junior, but we're back in the tomato patch. They're a little squirrely right now, so I'm gonna show you how to clean them up and also how to transplant some of the suckers that grow off these things. We've got a couple different varieties. We've got big tomatoes and we've got small tomatoes. We've also got tiny tomatoes. And we've got these paper lantern tomatoes too. We've also got these fuzzy tree tomatoes. This one's one of our big tomato varieties. You can see it's doing pretty well. We want it to go straight upright, so we put this stick here and we tied it to a trellis. We've got some morning glories. Shout out to morning glories, they're pretty cool. It's going straight up, it's not getting all bushy, but some of them are getting bushy, so I'll show you all what to do. So then you can see one of our smaller varietals. It's gotten a little bushy, gotten a little out of control. We want it to go up this, but it's kind of going out to the side. So I'm gonna show you how to trim it. If you follow a stem up, you come up to here and you see a branch, and then there's this little thing shooting out of the middle of the branch. That's called a sucker. You know how it's a sucker because up here at the top, there's this new plant tissue. These new growth is called the apical meristym, and that's where the new tomato plants grow from. So what you can do is you can come here and you can cut this little sucker out, and then you can plant it. So now I have this little sucker, and you can kind of see there's little hairs on it. And those things actually turn to roots if you plant this thing. This only works for the indeterminate varieties of tomatoes though. Then you bring this to your garden bed where you want to plant it. Then you find your hole digging apparatus. I usually just like a stick. I'm just gonna stick it in here, swirl it around just a touch like that. And then I'm just gonna slide this in like so and bury it. Green thumb tip for you. Just gonna give it some water, help it start off. Taking a little shade break with User Junior. Those wraps are kind of toasty, so once the chest sweat starts flowing, we need to take a break. All right, break time's over, but we got kind of a brown thumb update. I'm gonna blame User Junior for this one. I tried telling her it was too hot to transplant the tomatoes, but she really insisted on it. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the sucker died, but before all y'all haters get in the comments, this tomato plant, both suckers. Back to the tomato plant, but you can see here is where a big sucker grew out and then the main stem kept going, and I'll show you what the problem is because it keeps growing out of this apical meristym and that one too. So then you have a tomato plant that grows two ways instead of one way. So that's why you cut off the suckers. If you learned something about tomatoes, like this content, go ahead and tap that like button, subscribe.